Peace with you everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Trevor, really glad to have you here, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a full review on my scent of the day, and that is Varvatos Vintage. So I'm going to start off by doing an application here to get a view of the atomizer. Not bad, not the greatest, but shoots out a nice wide cone, gets enough juice out there. So I'm just going to start off with a brief overview of the fragrance, take a look at the perfumer, what kind of other offerings they've done in the past, and then do a brief overview of the note breakdown, talk about what other fragrances this reminds me of, describe how this smells as best I can in words, and then just talk about what kind of situations this is going to be good in and what kind of person it's going to be best for, and give my final rating out of 10 at the end. So this was a 2006 release. It's a cheapie, so you can pick it up for right around like $35 I think on discounters right now. It features the note of rhubarb, which is kind of a unique and pleasant note that shows up from time to time in fragrances. And this is somewhat of a modern meets classic vibe, so it's got some old school touches with some modern kind of accents to it. So really well done in my opinion. So Rodriguez Flores Rue is the perfumer, so he's, I believe, the in-house perfumer for Varvatos, the house. He's also done Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino and a number of fragrances for the indie perfume house Hawthorne, if you've ever heard of them. I've tried his, I think, sophisticated and aromatic offering from Hawthorne, and it's somewhat of an Aventus take on Aventus, but it's got some musk and pine in there. Really nice. I've gotten more compliments on that than actual Aventus. So yeah, Rodriguez Flores Rue, the guy who did Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford, is the same perfumer behind this fragrance. I'll put a picture of the notes over here on the screen. But the main notes that I get out of this are tobacco, basil, lavender, cinnamon, leather, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, tobacco, cinnamon, some green notes like basil and lavender, the leather. There's some tonka bean in here that gives it a little bit of sweetness. So it's you have tobacco and cinnamon and some green touches, so that's going to kind of remind you a little bit of Burberry's London. There's an element of that green sort of Christmas tree vibe going on, but then it's also coupled with a like Barbershop, fougere, lavender green, basil kind of thing going on. It reminds you a little bit of Chanel's Platinum Ego East. So this, in my opinion, is a little bit like a cross between Burberry's London and Chanel Platinum Ego East. So it's got that Barbershop shaving cream vibe, but also like this somewhat festive green Christmas tree thing going on. So there's like the sweet tonka, cinnamon, tobacco that's like all adding this like modern sweet touch to this old school Barbershop type of aromatic green note pyramid. And that's the best way I can sort of describe this one in terms of its notes and what other fragrances that I've got in my collection that I've smelled that smell like this. And as far as it smells, compared to like other things that you might have smelled that aren't fragrances, it kind of gives me a vibe of like a cola in some sense, like almost like a root beer, because it's like a little bit more aromatic than a regular soda, but then there's that rhubarb note, so it's kind of like a cherry root beer or something of that effect, like a root beer float with a little bit of some type of tart fruit on the top. It does have a little bit of that Christmas tree vibe going on, like Burberry London does, like something you'd kind of pick up in a gift shop, but there's like a barbershop thing going on, like if maybe like your local barbershop was celebrating Christmas and was kind of decorating around, that somewhat this would kind of give the vibe of. I'm trying to think. Yeah, like I said, tobacco, cinnamon, shaving cream. That's sort of the best way to describe it in words, I would say. Like tobacco, cinnamon, shaving cream, cherry root beer, and Christmas tree. Oh, because yeah, there's a balsam fir note in here as well that I forgot to mention, which is another one of the main players that it's kind of making this a green fragrance in some sense. So the best time to wear this is going to be in the transitional seasons. I think spring and autumn are going to be the best places for this one, although you know, fall into winter, that transition also, this is really good in that kind of time period because it's a little bit cloying and sweet for any type of high heat. And so like on a sunny day, even in the autumn when it's still like 60 degrees, like I think this is just a tad too much. But you know, when it's really cold and nighttime, especially on like night outs in the autumn, this is really going to shine quite well. That being said, I think this is a little bit more dressed up. Yeah, best time for this one too is going to be like semi-formal occasions, so this is going to be great for like weddings or going to a friend's birthday party. It's also really going to be really good for outdoor activities, so it's got that balsam fir note down there, so it's really nice and woodsy and green. And you know, I think going on a nature walk with a nice, cool, brisk autumn breeze, this is going to be really nice for that. Same thing if you're going to like an apple orchard to do apple picking in the autumn. That's a really good. This is a really good like date fragrance for that sort of occasion. Same thing with a pumpkin patch. This is going to be really good for that. So yeah, so yeah, a little bit leaning towards the cooler season, outdoors fun. This is good for going out, like a bar night sort of fragrance if you're into that sort of scene. Because it's got a little bit of playfulness and like boozy aspects, and it's like nice and extroverted, and a little bit, you know, it's got some push to it in the first hour. The longevity's not the greatest, but there's a good amount of projection going into it for a little while. That's you know, sort of making a statement. So like I said, it mixes classy, old school barbershop with this like modern sweet tobacco leather. So it's like really good for like extroverted party, playful activities where you're a little bit more dressed up. Like any time that you're wearing a flannel shirt or a suit jacket, vest, any of those occasions is going to be the perfect place to wear this one. So that being said, like types of people I could see wearing this, I could see a farmer wearing this, you know, because like a farmer, they mean business, they're doing really hard work, they're making sure that you've got food on your table at the end of the day, but they're also like outdoorsy and rugged and yeah, just like put together and rugged coming together at the same time. Like I think this would be really great for some kind of protagonist in a steampunk universe, or like Indiana Jones. This is going to be a good fragrance for him. If Santa Claus wore Burberry London, then Billy Bob Thornton's Bad Santa would wear this fragrance. I could see a barber wearing this because it is got that barbershop appeal to it, like Platinum Egoist, but it's a little bit more rugged, and like somebody that is, you know, not only doesn't maybe only have a beard, but he's responsible for you having a beard or a good-looking beard. So yeah, it's just a barber, farmer, I think are two good types of people that could wear this fragrance and get away with it pretty easily. So what is my rating out of 10? So like I said, the longevity is only so-so. I get somewhere between like 3 to 6 hours, so like 4 hours on average is what I'm getting with this fragrance. The projection, like I said, for about an hour it's pretty loud and makes a statement and is really nice in that respect, but it dies down and becomes a skin scent after that. So scent wise, I think this is amazing. It's like a 10 out of 10 scent, but because of the poor performance, I'm going to give this fragrance a 8 out of 10. It is good enough that I would buy a backup bottle. I'm going to keep this one in my fall rotation for a long time. But it is, I'm not going to give it a 9 or a 10 out of 10 because of the poor performance marks. Yeah, so that is my full review of my scent of the day, John Varvatos Vintage. I'll just go ahead and give myself a reapplication. And Let me know if you've tried this one. Let me know if you like this one or the original John Varvatos more. They are pretty close for me in my book. I think the regular John Varvatos is a little bit more versatile than this one. Like I said, I don't think this one you can only really get away with in the cold, whereas that one I think you can rock anytime. But yeah, really beautiful fragrance, nice presentation. One of my top 10 fall cheapies I mentioned in my top 10 cheap fall fragrances video. So yeah, really like this one. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you stopping by. Take care.